ropz, you guys are straight through to the playoffs after a very close and hectic series. What went through your head during that series?
It's hard to say. Many different things. I mean, I think at the end of Nuke, it's against Liquid. It was tough. I mean, we all felt like we should have won, and the match should have been 2-0. But we've learned from our past mistakes. I think we had many rough losses in the past few tournaments, and I think the one thing we can take away is that we are staying more positive after each loss, and I think that's helping us definitely. And we found a way to reset from Mirage, even though it didn't look like like that on paper. But I think we went into Mirage with positive vibes. We didn't have a great start there, that's for sure. But we remained calm, and you saw it after the pistol round. We were all happy and showing it. So I think this is nice development, I think, from our team, and definitely something that took us over the line. And the calms and everything, they were calm, as I mentioned, and it was like almost too calm for FaZe, I would say. It's quite hectic sometimes, and throughout the whole city side, it felt like they were just pressured to close it out, and we were just kind of waiting for them to make the mistakes.
You are now going to face SAW, and if you beat them, you will match up with Vitality in the semifinals. Are you confident about the playoff chances in Cologne?
We are very confident. Even the match against Vitality, we could have won that 2-0. On Dust 2, we took them to overtime. I felt like we had a chance there to close it out. I think the rounds on Anubis against Vitality were really close. A couple of clutches there, which they won. So I think so far, very promising results here in Cologne so far. Just we'll see how the playoff goes. I mean, if we get activated in playoffs like we do usually in the past, we are definitely aiming for a trophy.
You had a very good performance in the last map yesterday, and we have seen some more stability coming out of you in this tournament. What can you say about your slump and how you've been dealing with that?
I mean, it's just a regular slump. I mean, people look at me like I'm s1mple or ZywOo or donk, but I'm not one of them, definitely not. I never said I am, and I never asked to be a star player. I'm just a guy who is trying to be a stable rock for the team and provide consistency when it matters.
And to get a performance like that when the team needed you the most, would you say that it is a confidence boost for you?
For sure it is. I mean, closing out Mirage like that and getting some impact rounds there in the comeback, it felt good. And each round that went on, I feel like I was getting more into the game and just feeling it more and more. And I mean, kind of finding myself there. So that was definitely nice.
After the match, karrigan said that he's back to micromanaging. What can you say about the impact that this has in the team's game, and does this suit you better?
It's tough to say if it suits us better. Obviously, it's coming down to depending on the scenario we find ourselves in. It is a way that karrigan calls sometimes. He used to do it in Mouse. He used to do it with stand-ins in FaZe. It's like, when things are not so set in paper, and we have to play more structured and kind of get the trades going, because I think trading has been a big problem of our T sides, for example. So now with karrigan just taking over a bit more, we are moving more as a pack and as a unit. And I think getting those trades down is going to help us.
You've been very critical about the current state of CS2, and even s1mple said the other day that you had a list of things you wanted Valve to change. What's your opinion about the current state of the game, and do you think that this has played a role in some of your struggles in recent weeks and months?
I mean, it's interesting. It's in a strange place right now, I would say, the game. I'm not sure it has to do anything with my struggles, maybe a bit with motivation, but not much, I would say. I think there's many poor things happening right now. I mean, FPS issues is one of the biggest things. I am like a native user, 1920, so I think you take a pretty big hit sometimes on the practice PCs. Like, those are pretty good PCs here in ESL or IEM Cologne, and other tournaments as well. Like, they have good PCs for your practice setups, but it's just not enough for CS2. When you expect to play on 360 Hz monitors, You kind of expect 360 FPS running all the time, but you don't really get that nowadays. You need to have the best of the best PC to do that, and I feel like, well, we kind of get that in the tournament setup, but not in the practice setup. So that's where you get hurt a bit. And there's some more things with CS2 definitely. I mean, MR12 and the economy is something I'll mention, and yeah, I'll leave it there. There's some more smaller things, but I'll leave it there.
And are those things that you think Valve are open to discussing?
I mean, they're improving FPS each update. I feel like they're trying, at least, even though it has gone down from the data I've seen. So I think FPS is something they'll always look at, to improve. I'm not sure what their opinion is. Obviously, some say human can only see 60 hertz per second or whatever, and some say more, right? So I don't know. I mean, the MR12 and the economy thing, it's also something that's they might change, they might not. You never know with Valve. Someone might be thinking of a great solution, but maybe actually nothing is happening in there, so we'll never know.
Finally, you guys are now through to the playoffs. We all know how good FaZe can be when you get into playoff mode. What is the minimum goal here, or are you guys just taking it, whatever comes next is a bonus?
That's a good question, actually. I think we came into this tournament, karrigan mentioned that inside the team, we come here with no pressure. In a way, we lowered the expectations. For us, the expectation has always been to win the trophy. But here we're just trying to show the best FaZe of recent times, at least. And, at minimum, make a playoff appearance and just take it from here. I think so far we've done exactly what we wanted. And, now we can think about the trophy, but coming into the tournament, we set ourselves lower goals because I think we need to take a step back, and I think so far it has worked.